Hey, everybody, good morning and welcome to another show of BCB Live. Sir Rick, producer, Drive Safe Dave. You all right?
I'm doing good.
You weren't ready? The makeup person didn't take your little mask off today? Hey, we can fix that. We can fix that. Let's find out who it is, and they are gone. If you were responsible for that mask today, you are out of here.
I still have the old, what is that, Christmas mask.
Hey, would you be a good, a tyrant, right? Would you be a good, just mean tyrant, like back in the day? Could you play that role?
I don't know. I'm not that guy. But if you need me to be a mean tyrant, I can be a mean
I'd like to see that side of you.
Just the mean guy.
Show it to me, the producer.
I don't know. I already see too many sides of David. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to see
one more side. Do you really need one more side? I don't know if you need one more side. I don't know. I did my drill as a sophomore. I did my whole drill sergeant duties then, and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed.
You were a drill sergeant?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Let's go. Do it.
All right, son. Beat your face. Get down. Push-ups, more push-ups. Let's go.
Oh, you got the voice. As long as I ain't got to look at you, I'd be probably scared. I got a little scared right there. That was pretty daggum good. That's our freaking Sergeant Major right here. Sergeant Major Dover. It must run in the family. That voice. I bet your dad did. How was he? Was he a tough one?
Oh, yes. The Sergeant Major. Yeah, he was. Sometimes there was no sense of humor. There was no smile. There was no sense of humor. There was no enjoyment. I'll tell you. By the way, I have something to show you, and I want. No.
You can't grab at your chest and then say that you have something to show us.
I can see him.
No, they're all the buttons on this shirt, even all the buttons. I got this. They're all magnetic.
So if you can't see this at home, he has a shirt now that's magnetized that buttons together. Show me your Velcro shoes as well.
I don't have Velcro shoes. I had to tie them this morning.
Do you? You might as well come in with a clip-on tie to go with all that.
You have those rip-off pants, like the sweats that tear off.
The buttons are magnetic. Have you ever had a shirt like that?
I've never had one.
But it's actually...
Producer, do me a favor. If I come in with a magnetic shirt, just kick me out of this place.
I will. I'm not going to let... There's no more magnetic shirts on air. I'm not going to allow that anymore.
That'll probably mess up that. I was wondering where we were getting all that...
feedback?
Feedback from. It's from his shirt.
I was pretty impressed with it. It's a gimmicky shirt. I went ahead and got it.
So the good thing about that, too, is when you put it up backwards, right, it takes it apart. So it doesn't let you button it wrong.
Button the wrong way.
Yeah, button it the wrong way.
Repelling at two north poles. Is that right?
Hey, Drive Safe Dave, listen, we're at 3 days of driving safe, 18 days of getting out and look, 18 days, phenomenal, great streak to keep going. We want to make sure we do it. Hey, we've gone the whole entire year without another vehicle. That's good stuff.
Yep.
Another vehicle involved in an accident. We had a blowover 4 days ago, I guess. We talked about, man, what a great conversation yesterday resulting from all of our drivers talking about the wind.
Talking about the situations, not just the wind, but any adverse situation is that weather can provide and get it, but really started to lay into what we can do, and brought up some great topics. I think Bob's looking up some of that information, going to come out with a standard, going to do some of the, try to create some kind of guideline or better for us. It gives us an opportunity to get better, do better, and help drivers going forward make those decisions, those hard decisions when it comes to those adverse weather conditions.
Hey, Drive Safe, I did want to talk about a few things. So we had our Safe Assist come out yesterday. Safe Assist is how we get graded as a company about safety. Hey, listen, we've been talking about what for the last 12 months? Speed, space management, right?
Correct.
Speed and space management. And when we look right here, it just came out yesterday. You can see right here that, hey, back in July of last year, this is where we were, and we've seen nothing. And what I'm talking about right now is our unsafe driving. Our unsafe driving, we've gone up all the way, and we continue to go up. Unsafe driving is speeding.
That's correct.
Okay? Unsafe driving is following too close. And when we look at that, we're like, man, how does that happen? And when I go and I look at the history of this, and bear with me if I can get this. We look at the history, and you may not be able to see this very clear, but here we go right here. Speeding on the 14th of 15 miles an hour or greater. Unlawfully parking or leaving a vehicle on the roadway. And when you think about that one, what have we talked about? We had an accident that ruined a huge street with what?
Parking on the highway.
Parking too close to the highway. Here we have following too close on November the 21st. On November the 10th, failure to obey traffic control device, probably running a red light.
Yeah, or something, yeah.
Running a red light will get you a ticket, and it also counts against our score. November the 9th, speeding 15 or more, greater than 15 miles an hour. Again, all of the items that we've been talking about, we've been speaking about, items that are under your control.
100%.
We've got to watch our speed as we do this. I love this part I love when this thing comes out. And we go back and again, we look at our trends. What this says is that we are on our way to having an alert. And what is the greatest thing about having alerts? Why do we want alerts?
So that we can identify the problem and fix it.
No, we don't want alerts. All right? We don't want alerts. And you know what the greatest thing is? What we're doing by doing this is we're giving ourselves more opportunity to get pulled into scale houses.
Oh.
That's what we're doing. We are doing that. You talk about controllable action items. These are our action items. We do have control of speeds greater than 15. We have control of following too close. We talk about it. And yet here it is. It just came out yesterday or the day before. And these are our numbers right here. We're going to go now. We're going to look at, let's look at our hours of service compliance. Hours of service compliance as our electronic logs.
100%.
There should no be any issues, right? So, but let's look at it. And sure enough, very, very low. We've gone down. We had no violations. That means when the DOT officer came to you and asked you for the direction cards, you knew where it was. Those kinds of things. We didn't have any paper logs. Anything that was wrong, we didn't have any issues. So great job on that. Vehicle maintenance. All right. Man, what a great job we've done over the past. 4.21, 4.0, 3.79, 3.1, 3.44, and then 3.31. Trending the right way. But we had a bad month last month. We jumped back up to 3.56, which means we had a lot of people with incidences that happened. And we go back and again, we look at it. Let's just look at this. And oddly enough, these are items that we've talked about as well. Here we go. Tire flat and audible leak. Out of service on top of it. Flat tire on the trailer is what this was. Out of service. Put you out of service. What happens on that? 48 points right there. 3, you see the 3 right there, and we can go over that. Bob's gone over that. That's our multiple. But out of service is 48 points. Here you go. We look at this one. Fire extinguisher. It's not working. It's discharged already, or it's out of
or it's loose.
Yeah, loose.
It's not snapped in. Is that right?
This is no discharged unsecured fire extinguisher. Yeah, it could be any of those.
Yeah,
we can look in the detail and find out what it is. But once again, it's a pre-trip.
Yep.
Your fire extinguisher is not connected. It's not there.
Yeah, it's not buckled.
You must have one. Pre-trip. Brake connections with leaks or constrictions. Here you go, though. Brake connection with leaks under vehicle, tire flat, and or audible leak. Another one. Brake tubing and hose inadequacy on the tractor. Another one, out of service. We're creating our own issues. And let me tell you something. When you do this, when we don't do a proper pre-trip, a proper post-trip, when we don't call something in, when we pick up a trailer and we say, I'm not fixing it, I'm just going to run with it. I'm only going 80 miles. Or, you know what? Somebody shouldn't have dropped it like that. I'm going. Or, I'm not going to check the daggum thing. I'm not going to get out and look. I'm not going to do an inspection. I'm not going to do it.
I'm in a hurry.
This is what happens right here. That's exactly what happens right here. We get these scores right here that go back up. And while we're okay, I think today, listen, if we keep doing what we've been doing, 2 things is we're not the best fleet. By intentionality, we're not the best fleet. Oh, those tires are owner-operators. No, they're all company trucks.
Yep.
They're all company trucks. The equipment, tires, even got written up on a trailer. Not an owner-operator, a company truck. It's you, it's me, it's us. It's our maintenance team, it's our operations team, it's our ownership, it's us. Does it bother me? Does it hurt me? Man, it does, because it's under our control. So many times we this and what about? No, this is under our control. You are the only ones that can do some of this stuff. We got to fix it. You got to check it. You control your speed. You control your spacing. Things that we have to do. So when we look at these numbers right here, look, I want you to see what we're doing. I'm not going to ever hide anything. I'm going to show you what we are doing, and that's what we're doing. We're starting to come up on some radars now, right? That's what it says. It says that they're starting to check us, and a little bit more, we're starting to come up on some radars. We've got to make sure we're doing our part. We have to make sure that we're doing the little things. Checking a trailer, checking for chafing, right? We saw that. Out of service on a tractor. Things that are under our control are things that we must do. So I wanted you to see that, and then we look at the driver fitness, and again, that's y'all having your health cards on you.
Yep.
Great job. Again, zeros on that. So many things we're doing right, but the two things that we've been working on, pre-trips, speed, and space management, listen, they took jumps in the wrong direction. When you go up on these trends, that's not a good trend line.
Yep.
Okay? We want to make sure that we're doing our part. And again, this is the one that really gets me right here, and this is the unsafe driving. This is the speed and spacing. And you can see right here, it's gone up forever. We've never came down. It has gone up every single month. Unsafe driving, speed, space management. We see it when drivers are following too close. We got a following too close on here. And we've been seeing it. Speeding. Bob's been talking about it, and Dave Krause been talking about it. We've been reviewing our numbers. Some of those are on the high. Some of those are picking up the wrong highway, Rick. Oh, it's picking up the side road. No, it's not. Not all the time.
Nope.
No, it's not. It's picking up the right one many times. And hey, and guess who else is picking it up? DOT.
Yep.
Sell that story to them. Oh, no, sir. No, DOT is catching us. We're speeding. We are. Folks, it's something you can control. It's something we have to control. It's under our control. It's one of those, here we go, one of those action items, right? It's not going to change unless you change it. Drive Safe Dave, our maintenance isn't going to change unless you change it. Dispatchers, driver managers, safety, everybody, listen. It takes action to make a change. You can't just talk about it. Woo, we're good. We love BCB. You got to do something different. You have to do your part. You actually have to do crap to make it happen. We got to get rid of people that can't make it happen. Right? We got to pick up the phone and call you and say, why are you doing this? And we can't let you do that over and over again. We don't want turnover, but listen, we want people here that don't want this. And when this is under our control and we do it, listen, it's not good. Let's not pat ourselves on the back today. Not over this. It takes all of us doing our job. Not most of us, not some of us, not the majority of us. This takes all of us doing our part to keep our numbers where they are. Speed management, space management, man, we've talked about it. Pre-trips, post-trips, get out and look. We've talked about it. It's something we have to do. So I wanted you to see these. I wanted to see these numbers. Drive safe. Is it time for that phrase at pace?
It is. You ready? It sucks to get stuck, so always inspect your truck.
All right. It sucks to get stuck, so always inspect your truck and trailer. Right? And trailer.
Yeah, and trailer.
All right. Just want to make sure. Hey, we have Buckle Up Bob is out today. We have
a special
Mr.
guest.
Is it special? He's always special. The good thing is on the replay, it may not show any of that on there. So that's a good thing. We'll have make all the mistakes you want to live. We fix it up, and you'll see it. I look a lot thinner when we do the replay. Y'all, you're good.
We're all working on that.
Hey, see if you can take something my way and give it over to Dave. Throw it on someone, Dave.
I'll see what I can do.
David, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, and I love that you bring our CSA scores in to show everybody, because what this is going to do is it's going to take time away from you, because as soon as we get to a certain level up here, then DOT at the scale house, when you go through all those electronic little things, they're going to say, oops, we need to bring you in, because they have like a point system. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to look at the camera, don't I? I'm not used to this. just used to the radio. But they have a point system, and they're gonna pull you in the scale, and then they're gonna start inspecting you more.
It just gets worse.
It just compounds.
It gets worse. I mean,
Then we get why am I getting pulled in?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm telling you right now.
slow down.
We're showing
right.
you.
Yeah.
This is where we're headed
That is
to.
it. And then if we get to a point where we're above our threshold on 2, guess what happens then?
Talk to me.
You're going to get audited right here. And that's not going to be, good. We got our stuff right. But, man, we have got to control this speed. And in January, we got a little good news so far. We've had 13 inspections so far this month. 7 of them have been clean. That's pretty good.
Well, look at this, David, while we're talking about
we
this.
got 1 speeding.
So here we go. This is last month. So I'm looking at the summary, and you may be able to see it behind me as well. But here we go. We have 6 violations of speeding of 6 to 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
6. We have 4 violations of 15 or more.
Wow.
That is nuts.
That's nuts, and it almost tells me somebody shouldn't be working here.
I agree.
Right? I mean, that's 15 miles. Our insurance doesn't like that. Oftentimes, you're uninsurable.
That's
Okay?
right. That's
We
right.
have 3 11 to 14 miles an hour. 3 failure to obey traffic control devices. 2, and I'm sorry, this is a violations of since we've had the scores, so it's not last month.
Right.
So sorry about that. I did say that wrong. We have 2 following too close, 2 lane restriction violations, 2 unlawfully parking and or leaving a vehicle in the roadway, in which one of those resulted in an accident.
No.
Okay, one of those had an accident. Failing to use hazard warning flashers and improper lane change. So all items here under our control. We do have the ability to either create those or not create them.
That is correct.
It takes us to do that part. It's speeding.
Yes.
I mean, we control the vehicle's not overriding you.
No.
Oh no, we're gonna go fast here, partner. Relax, I got this. This isn't cars. It's not controlling its own thing. This is us controlling it.
That's right.
So
we've got to control those things.
who else we got?
Brian Winsauer, what do you got for us?
Winsauer, he was the film producer of the NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. That just literally scared the crap out of me. I was on 35 North going through Temple and minding my own business, tooling down the road. All of a sudden, it was just boom, boom, boom. 11 Lamborghinis just hammered down. I'd never seen anything like it before.
Wow.
What is that?
I've never seen
Is
that.
that
College
$10 million
kids coming from home.
going down the road at one time?
What college kids have a Lamborghini, Dave?
I don't
What
know.
do you know? What? Okay, yeah,
That
other
was
side.
his group. He
other
ran
side,
that with him, college folks. What? Who hasn't seen that?
Wow.
Who hasn't partaken in that? What do you mean?
Hey, Dave did one time tell me that he raced his old car for the title of it, and then that was it. He got a brand new car, raced some other kid for the title, and then lost it. Isn't that right? You told me that a few months ago.
I have no idea what he's talking
What?
about. You're saying that I raced my car? We have raced. I say we did race. We did race back in the day, but
You told me that you used to race for titles.
we raced for money, and yeah, we raced for money. But titles, I didn't race for a title.
Listen, sometimes you just make stuff up, producer, and I'm sorry you had to find out the hard way, but you know what? Santa Claus isn't real.
And to think,
okay, Santa Claus isn't real.
What? What?
Was that a pedal car?
You just heard
Was that a
it.
pedal car race?
I want you to know. I want you to see the look of disappointment on that young man. Iron sharpens iron.
I am telling you. Well,
we set him up.
we used to race a lot, but titles were tough.
I think I've heard the same story, to be honest.
You have never heard me say that.
I know for a fact you told me that story. I know.
Why
I
would
know
he
for a
make it
fact.
up?
I don't
Why
mean,
would you?
I don't
I was like,
understand.
who are you trying to impress here? Who are you trying to impress
I'm not
here?
pressing anybody. I'm trying to figure out if I lost.
Hey, get your lies in order, sir.
I know.
Let's
I'm
get
trying to
them in
figure.
order.
I gotta sort through my lies.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Winsauer, for that. That was crazy video, though. Absolutely, I've never seen a video like that in my life. That was pretty cool. All right, who do we have?
All right, Mr. Hayes, Justin Hayes, what do you got for us today?
So you can rent those cars in the DFW area for $250 an hour. They do have supercars, but yeah. So speaking on what you were talking about before the meeting, the CSA and holding people accountable, stair step these people out the door. You get a verbal warning for, if you get a ticket for 5 over, that's a verbal. Your next one, you get written up. Your next one, you're out the door. You get a ticket for 10 over. It's an automatic ride up. Next one, you're out the door. You get a 15 over. You're automatically out the door. One that back an accident, you get written up. Next one, you're out the door. I mean, you got to phase these people out. And I know you, Rick, and I know you, Dave, and y'all are super nice and y'all are super caring. But at the end of the day, this is our company. This is our baby, your baby. And you got to phase some of these people out the door, whether you want to or not. I mean, I hate to say that, but we all do make mistakes and we all should get a second chance. But I think it's we're all grown here. Start phasing people out. The other thing is we're in Arizona down on I-10. I'm in New Mexico now, but when we were in Arizona, be a little careful. The wind is pretty heavy down on 10. Anyway, love you guys.
Hey, thank you, Justin. Hey, and just for those of you that don't know, we actually do have a handbook that we follow. It's our safety handbook that includes write-ups, departures, and all that stuff right there. So, yeah, I appreciate your comments. And absolutely, we're not going to sit here and tell you about what we do. That, hey, so-and-so just got written up and do that. Understand that we have a very strict policy book that we follow to the T. Not only do we follow it just because, but we're mandated once you put a policy book out there, you have to follow it.
That's right.
DOT comes back in, and there's nothing worse than having you're actually better off not having a policy book than having one if you don't follow it. So the rules, regulations, guidelines are in there. Hey, our HR team does a great job of holding people accountable and all of that. So we want to make sure, and trust me, there's probably not many duplicates, but I do want you to know this, that when you get just one speeding ticket, okay, and let's just say it's one, it absolutely destroys us. Why are you saying that? Well, because you don't get citations or uncitations for not speeding. All right. So when you get a speeding ticket, there's nothing really to offset it. You're not going to get a good one for a clean inspection for driving under the speed limit or driving the speed limit. Every time we get one, it hurts.
Right. It just builds.
Yes.
It just builds and builds. So.
Miles are the only thing that only way you can keep that thing from going is not to get them. Ever. You just can't get them because you get one, it hurts the company tremendously because there's nothing to offset it.
And you need 3 clean inspections, and it has to be the right kind of inspection too.
So on the speeding, does that, if you get it in a personal vehicle, does that go towards BCB since we're employed by BCB on our driver's license? No. And also, would you get rid up for that? I'm asking, so I'm gonna throw Jeanette under the bus. So the other day we had to go to get our truck from Bruckner's. Right, she probably slapped me. She'll hear me in my sleep, trust me. So she was coming back from Canton, headed home. She got pulled over for doing 73 in a 70. Right. So she goofed with the cop back and forth, and she's like, don't you have a 5 mile an hour over, limit? And he's like, nah, I don't think so. But he's like, I see you have a CDL and you have a clean driving record. I'm just going to give you a verbal. But I was wondering if she would have gotten a ticket, how does that factor into our CSA at BCB? Does it factor into that, or is that just personal? Do we have to report that against the safety bonus, so on and so forth?
Here's the law, okay? If you own a CDL license, I don't care what you're driving. If you get a ticket, it's going to go against your CDL, period. Is it going to go against BCB's CSA? No, because you're in a personal vehicle, okay? But companies do run your MVR, okay? And the DOT requires you to report that to us. Okay, so you have to report it when you get a ticket, even if it's in your car. We have to know. That's part of DOT regulations. Okay, and then we pull MVRs annually because that, again, is a DOT. And if it shows that we have a bunch, then there's policies we follow.
Yeah, and that's the answer right there. We're required to pull your MVRs annually. So we're going to see it anyway.
Right.
So, hey, thank you. Who else do we have?
Jeffrey Marsh, what do you have for us this morning?
Morning, Mr. Marsh.
Hey, yeah, I was just going to talk on those supercars. They have them in California too. I watched videos on Facebook where these cops will pull over these supercars for speeding, and they're not speeding. And there's some guys in California that they actually video their transportation of these supercars, and a lot of them are wrapped and everything. And so the cops will like come up behind these supercars, and they'll pull them over, and they'll say like, you're doing 102 miles an hour, and the guy will ask, says, how can you tell I was doing 100? I was pacing you. And they're like, you can't be pacing us because you just came up right behind us. I mean, if you pace us, you got to be behind us at a certain time and to pace us to find out what speeds we're doing and stuff like that. And I mean, they just make up all kinds of excuses of why they're giving these guys tickets and everything. And I think it's just because they're in these supercars and all this stuff. But yeah, they do a lot of that in California.
They have in the video though, they were definitely speeding. In the video that we just saw, they were going at it, Jeffrey.
There was no pacing going on
there.
there.
Was no pacing there. No. That was not a pace car.
Yes, but some of these other videos, some of the other videos that I'm watching on Facebook and everything, these guys ain't speeding. The cops are just they're just harassing them because they're in these sport cars and stuff, and it's an easy way for them to get tickets.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Jeffrey. Who else do we have, Mr. Dillon?
Richard Crable, what you got for us?
Morning, Mr. Crable.
I'm asking on weather report in West Virginia. You said something about the storm is going to be clearing out around 1 or something like that. If you don't, can you elaborate on that? I'm sitting here. I just finished a nice good oversized Western omelet and the hash browns and stuff like that, and coffee and water. And I don't want to add more weight to the truck and slide off the road, because I just ate my omelet here.
Yes. Yeah, we don't want you to lose it that way either.
Are you running the gap today, Rich?
I'm running. I'm running. I'm in Western Maryland right now, but I'm running to what do you call it? I'm not running right now, but I'm running to West Kentucky. I'm sorry, I can't even talk to this morning.
Yeah, it's going to end at 1 p.m. The advisory is. I don't know which direction the storm's going. It's probably going southeast like normal storms go, unless there's a big strong westerly wind or easterly wind. But yeah, 1 p.m.
I'm watching the Weather Channel, but they said it's south of here. And I've talked to some people, and I was just trying to get an idea of if to leave or not, because they said the roads are all right, but they're crappy. I don't know what that means, but I'm just sitting here enjoying a nice omelet and coffee and water with salsa.
Yeah, Richard. Hey, what I would do on that, I would just give it a minute here, and then give it a good couple hours. Call back in and maybe check with Dave. Let him pull up the the most current weather at that time, so we can give you some better advice.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thank you for always being safe out there, Mr. Crable. Who else we got?
Michael Campbell, what do you have for us this morning?
I worked for a company that had a bad CSA score for a while, and they upped their inspection bonus to $300 for clean inspections. Now, I know that's a little extreme, but their good inspections went way up, and almost hardly any at all bad inspections after that. Now, I don't say you got to go pay that much anymore, but $150 for passing clean inspection might make guys take a little better look at their stuff and take better care of it.
Huh? Yeah, so hey, I do appreciate that. And that's kind of goes exactly the opposite, though. I'll be honest with you with what I say is that it's your job, it's your accountability. It's part of what you do in a pre-trip or a post-trip is look at that equipment. It's not about that part right there. And I get it, but you listen, those clean inspections only happen when you get pulled in. So, that doesn't affect you from speeding, right? That we're not talking about speeding. We're talking about speeding and getting and going too close. Listen, those are, you're going to get inspected after you've sped. And it is your accountability. It is absolutely your job to pre-trip and post-trip.
Yep.
It has nothing to do. You're going to lose time. Again, you're taking a chance on life when you're pulling out a trailer without doing a pre-trip on it. And I'll just be honest, that right there, I don't understand. Why would you not check out your equipment before you go on the road? I can promise you our independent contractors they are very good about checking that. Why? Because they know it's going to cost them time. It's going to cost them money. And this old thing right here, this is what many companies have to go through. Company fleets, I should say, is that right there. I don't agree with that. I'm just telling you, I think it's our job. It's my job you count on me, each and every one of you count on me to make best decisions possible, making sure that our processes are in there, that this company is staying like that, we negotiate the best insurance rates for our trucks, that we do all that. Just like I count on you to do your part. Who else we have?
Donna, what do you have for us?
Good morning, Miss Donna.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank Kraus for putting up that first map. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And second, on our scores and everything, it's going to be throwing up red flags, and we got to be held to, all of us. It's our choice what we do out here. It's my choice how I drive. I want to protect my livelihood, my license, but I also want to protect BCB. We can't afford to be, doing these rookie moves and everything, because it's going to put BCB in a bad way. And I sure hope that everybody starts doing right and hold themselves accountable for all this, because that's those numbers that you threw out there this morning, Sir Rick, is alarming to me. I mean, I enjoy being able to get the green light when I come up on a scale. I hate being pulled in. I mean, because you get pulled in, they're going to be right there, and they're going to be able to see a lot more right there in front of in front of them than us passing down the highway. It's not good. It's not cool. So that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just not right.
Thank you, Miss Donna. Dave, what do you have?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's their job to find something. I mean, when you get pulled into the scale, it's absolutely 100% their job to check you from the nose to the toes to make sure that you're in compliance. And if you're not, it's their job to write you up, and it's their job to and they can't write you up if you're not in the scale house.
And they got technology now. That's why tires, you need to have a gauge and check those tire pressures.
They can see the heat.
They can see the heat. Exactly.
They can see the heat on the tires. They can see the scale. Right. Yeah. And it's really important that you and I'll tell you what, I did not know, and I should have known. I did not know that we were climbing on the speeding. And we talk about it a lot. We go through it. How more can we do? What can we do more than to express to you how bad it gets? That speeding right now, we talk about it. We talk about speeding and spacing every day. And this right here is just evident of what's going on out there, really, in that sometimes in these instances, we're getting caught not doing the right thing. We're getting caught speeding, and we can't. We've got to find a way to not speed, to make sure that we're doing what it takes every day, and to be out there on the road and realizing that our speed is going to be monitored. Our issue is going to be monitored. And by the way, Justin, let your wife know there is no such thing as a cushion on a speed limit. I don't, not anywhere, not anytime, and not by any police officer they will never tell you there is a cushion. The speed limit is the limit. Now, there are times when you can get by with a 2, but that's not what we talk about here. And don't ever think that they'll let you. Who you got?
Justin Hayes, what do you have for us?
So a long time ago, it was suggested maybe having a pre-trip lane at the yard, or something of that sort. But the other question I had was, how does this work when you're a power unit only? Like Jeanette and I right now, we're doing the dedicated FedEx. We pre-trip these trailers. Don't get me wrong. We still pre-trip them, and they got shops there. But if we were to get pulled over, or if, and get inspected and they did find something on a FedEx trailer, or if we were to blow a tire while out on the road, what's the protocol for being a power unit only?
Okay, so when you carry a FedEx trailer, that is the FedEx trailer, but when you hook it to your truck, it's your truck. I mean, it's your trailer, but when let's say you were to have a flat on the FedEx trailer, on that sheet of paper, that hook slip that they give you, there's a phone number from the location that you left. That's the people you will call and let them know that there's a problem with the trailer. It doesn't matter if it's a light, it doesn't matter if it's a tire or what have you. They will respond accordingly to make sure that you are fixed. I believe that on all of those, your hook slips, I believe they have the phone number to your from your departure place.
So I don't know if that answered the question or not. And I think maybe we need to look at that and see. But I think many times, DOT may write it up as yours. I can tell you on a chassis, on the equipment on that, they may originally hit you, but it goes back to the chassis company when it comes to
if it's a chassis,
yes.
It all depends. It'll go back to the IEP, the intermodal equipment provider. Okay, but they're going to go by the DOT number that's on that tractor.
All right, I think Zai may have hit that on accident, but so kind of going back to Justin, hey, we'll find out on that, Justin, but I agree with what David's saying, is that the trailer follows you, but sometimes, and I'll tell you this, I see this, we'll get a write-up on the same opposite power only when another truck is pulling our trailer. I think it kind of depends on what it is. So I don't know if we know the answer. I don't know the answer to it. Maybe you know 100%.
I don't.
If it's a chassis with an intermodal equipment provider.
Got it.
Okay. It all depends what the violation is, the defect is. If it's like something underneath the trailer, like a little air leak or something, because the regulation does state you do not have to go underneath the chassis to inspect on a pre-trip inspection for an IEP piece of equipment. So if it's something like that, it should, and this is a good topic right here, because when you get those write-ups, those roadside inspection forms, just don't throw it in your cab. Look at it before you leave and read it. If you have a problem with it, call me immediately, please, and then send it to me, because I can actually read it and say, oh, this trailer is going to go against the IEP and it won't go against our CSA score.
Gotcha.
But if it's something like a light or a flat tire, it doesn't matter who owns that chassis or trailer. That's on you and us.
You hook to it.
There you go.
Agree. All right. Anybody else? Nobody else. Hey, thank you, Mr. Krause. Great job in filling in.
Thank you, boss.
Appreciate that.
It's great to be here. Man, I love this.
Drive safe, Davey. It is time for
Ache R.
All right. Are we blessed with Ache R today?
I am here. Good morning. How are you?
You know what? We had a no show yesterday, and we were a little hurt inside here.
Nope. Blame that on Dover then, because I absolutely sent an email at about 3:30 or 4 in the morning.
Well, do we blame Dover or do we blame you for sending him the email?
Of course.
So Dover's having he don't remember some of the lies he's told us, and now he doesn't remember you sending this email either. So.
Yep, there was an email. I promise.
When he saw the sun, he sneezed, and everything else kind of went astray after that.
All my memories gone. Just gone.
Yep, so sorry about that. But today, just a little reminder to everyone that W-2s are in Paycom. So if you need access to that, please log into your Paycom. If you don't know how to get logged in or you forgot your password, please give me a call. I'm at extension 168, or shoot me a quick email. I'll be happy to get those credentials over to you so you can get in. And then you just go into Paycom, click on payroll, and click on year-end tax forms, and you'll see it. Click on the little eyeball. It will download to your phone, and then you can email it to yourself or to your tax person. You can do whatever you like at that point. And also, be looking for your medical cards to arrive in the mail. If you have an appointment this week and you have not received that, again, please give me a phone call or shoot an email to hr@bcbtransport.com, and we can get a temporary one emailed right over to you so that you have that and can take care of it. And today we have a 5-year anniversary for Mr. Mike Jones. So happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Good.
Mr. Jones.
5 years.
Yes. So other than that, same old, please keep wearing those masks. It's still very, very important. Those numbers just keep going up. It seems like more and more people are just contracting it. We just want everyone to stay as healthy as they possibly can. So please wash your hands, use that antibacterial. I know we start feeling like we've done it. It's almost like, it's just whatever, and we're not, you think you're being safe, but I think if you really take a moment and step back and look at it, you're probably not using the antibacterial as much as you were in the beginning, or washing your hands as much. So, maybe just step that up a little bit more and do as much as you can.
Yeah, now that antibacterial is all available everywhere, now we don't want to use it, right? Before, when it wasn't, you couldn't get it anywhere. It was the hottest item going on. You'd get phone calls. Hey, they got some at Sam's, run.
Go get it.
Now that it's all everywhere, now we don't need it.
It used to be like, if you saw it, it was like, oh, you better stop and use it. But now it's like, eh. So yes, just please keep practicing those safety measures so that you can stay healthy.
All right. Thank you, Miss Christie. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. And I have that's my COVID poll right here.
Why are you hitting me with your COVID
I was
poll?
touching you. It's my poke thing.
Okay, why are you
hey,
poking
look that
me?
way. It's my COVID thing. So, hey.
So COVID is now as an excuse to not only poke and prod and hit your partner.
That's how you get cattle where they need to go, right? You got to prod them along.
That is true. That is how you get cattle where to go. And now I am cattle.
Hey, it is time. It is time for Mr. Hector.
It is.
I heard the van go by. It's a little white van, and Hector,
I think you parachuted in. The Rangers
Oh, did he?
parachuted in. Hey, so before we get to him, I want to make a quick announcement. If you want to be on the show and you want to do an interview with us, do me a favor. I'm calling around, but I would really like to, if you haven't done an interview before and you would like to share your story, find a way to email us at bcblive at bcbtransport.com and give us an opportunity to
that's where you're looking.
Oh yeah, that's where I'm looking. Email us at bcblive at bcbtransport.com. Give us an opportunity to call you and interview you and talk to you and get to know you, because we're going to be doing that on Thursdays now, and we're going to do that this year. And I just want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity that hasn't done it to go ahead and be a part and to tell their story.
When you don't look at them, I think they probably feel like you're probably not being honest. Did you? When you told the producer that story about racing for the title, were you looking at him? Was that just?
I don't remember that story.
You told me the exact same story before.
That
you raced for your title. Like the title of your vehicle.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's your story.
Where did I do this?
2 people have heard it, and I bet you some others have heard the same story.
If you've heard me tell that story,
you've been telling
if anybody else has heard me tell that story, please, was I delirious with COVID?
This was pre-COVID. Hey, Hector, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning to you. Hey, before I get on, I see Donna Kaysen went green. Go ahead, Donna. What do you got to say this morning?
Yes, I wanted to add to that, doing interviews. I know you guys were really busy with the FedEx, but I would love to see if you can fit in Larry Graham, which was Driver of the Month for October, which was never interviewed, and Charles Crawford was November's Driver of the Month. If we can fit them 2 in, I would so much appreciate it. I would absolutely love to hear their interviews. If you guys can do that, that would.
I'll give them a call and see if they're willing to participate. Absolutely, Donna.
Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I came in here in my supercharged van this morning, just driving all over the place, going fast. So good morning to y'all. What an incredible opportunity to talk safety with Dave Krause. That guy's got a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. That's incredible for us to get that kind of knowledge here, and for him to be able to just to let us know what's going on in the world. So good morning to everyone. So what I was going to say is, I was asked by Alan Arnold to go using the methods of the Smith system and get a video and try to do commentary of it as we went. So I went ahead and pulled a video that I thought was, it's not a rough video, but certainly it gives me an opportunity to do some commentary as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video and stop and just make commentary on the things that I need to make in order to try to get an idea of what we're looking at when we do space and viz or space and visibility or our Smith systems. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the video. I'm going to play it. I think the producer has me queued up this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and go and stop and go in commentary. So as always, here we go. The first video we have, and I'm just going to run through the video very quickly. As you can see, it's just a driver going down the highway very quickly. and then I'm gonna, that way you can get an idea of what the video looks like, and then I will back it up and start it again and do just a quick commentary as far as what I see in the video and what I think our space and visibility needs to be in this situation. So here we go. So you saw the video, and here we go. As you can see, the first thing I want to talk about is aim high and steering. It's got an imaginary target baseball, centers the car in the center of his traffic lane. Basically, as you can see, the driver is going just in the center lane. He's got good speed. His eye lead time is basically 8 to 12 seconds. So he's got very good spacing between him and the car in front of him. So, I mean, just excellent job here of him. As you can see, the other thing he's got a safe path both on his left and his right. And of course, the most important path is the path right in front of him. So we continue forward. As you can see, drivers got cars left and right. The second comment, and I'm running really fast on this, is get the big picture. He's staying way back from any vehicle in front of him, because again, we stay back and see it all. He's got perfect vision. Both his mirrors are clear, and he's able to continue forward. He's using how wide, how deep, how far. It's got a lot of good space here, and he's using very good speed. And then we continue forward. As you can see, leave yourself an out, and we talked about leaving yourself an out. The most important out, and we talked about this the other day, was the out that's in front of you. As you can see, he has got clear traffic, a clear lane between him and the next car. I bet you the next car is not more than, I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds ahead of him. So he's got good speed. Also on his left, he's got an out on his left. His mirror is clear if somebody happens to jump in front of him. And also, despite the fact, he's got a car to his right, but if he needed to get to the right, he could decrease speed and get to the right. So again, he's getting the big pictures, got a good view of everything. And also, one thing I didn't want to take time to mention is the sun. And we really never talk about, the things that are affecting how we can see things. But, as we're driving to the east in the morning or the west in the afternoon, the sun can play a major factor in how we get the big picture. So again, just make sure that you're looking at the sun and what have you. Again, keeping your eyes moving. As you can see, the driver, who is moving very well, has space. He's moving, I would imagine and this is what I would think he'd be doing, he's got his mirrors to the left, mirrors to the right, and continue keeping his eyes forward. He is scanning his area, and that's why he knows that he's got plenty of space and plenty of options and ways out, scanning and not staring. And of course, as we talked about just a second ago, leaving himself an out. He's got plenty of outs, plenty of ways to escape any danger as he goes. And as we talked about, the last one is always make sure they see you by using your horns, lights. If somebody jumped out in front of him or something of that nature where it caused him, he would have an excellent opportunity to go ahead and use his city horn or his big horn in order to alert the other drivers that he's there. So these are, and it's kind of hard to really put 16 seconds of a video in the methods, but I can tell you, just based on what I saw here and in this video, the driver here, he used excellent methods in order to get moving forward and keep himself out of danger. And we always talk about this. The most important part of doing this is keeping yourself out of danger, keeping people, their safety ahead of everything else. And in this video, and I'm just going to run it very quickly, you can see that he's slowed down. He's got plenty of space, plenty of outs, getting the big picture, keeping his eyes moving. I mean, this is an excellent video of us just being able to use these methods, being able to be smart about how we move forward, and just keeping our eyes moving at all times. So excellent job here. I will say this morning, we watched a video this morning of a truck jumping out in front of us and taking a left. I think that when I was looking at that, the driver used excellent methods by slowing down, letting that car take a left in front of us without, putting himself in danger. And of course, it's not exactly the most important, ideal operation, but certainly we need to make sure that we are slowing down. I think that's the most important thing that Bob and Drive Safe Dave and PC Kraus and of course Rick this morning talking about it. We've got to slow down. We've got to slow down more and allow ourselves to make those moves, to make those decisions and slow everything else down. And I think the word we like to say is slow the chaos down. We have got to slow the chaos down in order for us to make good, strong movements, good, strong decisions, and just make sure that we're moving ahead, moving forward without putting not just ourselves in danger, but others in danger. So with that being said, I'll take any questions or any comments. Drive Safe Dave, I see you getting up to the mic. You got a comment or three?
No, I was just listening to you. I was taking in what you were doing, going over the video and talking about it and what you and utilizing the Smith system in the video and how it can be applied. You know, you doing it over a simple video is good, and then I think you should do it over one that's bad, right?
I certainly will. I'll try that again. I was not prepared for the bad, and actually we had a good. You know, can you pull that one up, producer? The one that we had today, that we looked at. We'll go over that one very quickly because I thought that was a pretty interesting video. I'm kind of putting the producer. This morning there was a video sent from Dave Kraus on a truck that pulled out, cut out. So
we got cut off. Are you talking about the merge point?
Yeah. So again, I think when you look at this using the methods, you're aiming high and steering. You get the good vision. You get the big picture. And here, you know, it's really. So just to run through it again, I'll tell you what. I'll use my methods as I go and tell you what I would do. Okay, so as you can see, you know, we're going to pause right here. The driver, again, got good vision in front of him. He's got 3 or 4 outs. He's got outs to his left, and before this truck pulls into, he's got outs to his right. So certainly he's aiming high and steering, finding a safe path well ahead, which he did. Again, the speed is very good because he's staying back and seeing it all and keeping getting the big picture, keeping our eyes moving. Now, here's a good point right here where the driver already sees, and if he's using the aim high and steering and getting the big picture, he can already see that the lane is going to end to the right as he continues down the right. So he's already going to have to use his mirrors, which he's keeping his eyes moving, knowing that to the left. And of course, now he's got danger to the right. He's going to continue to keep his eyes moving. He's scanning and not staring. So he already knows, based on the way we see this, that this guy, there's a possibility this guy's going to cut us off. So again, moving forward, he's got his outs. And again, he's checking his mirrors. And now he sees this guy throwing a signal on. And even though his trailer's not on, you can see us moving to the left to get out of danger. So again, he used his out in order for us to allow this truck not to hit us. And of course, we slowed down also. So, you know, in this case, I certainly would have been on the horn and flashing in order to let this guy know that he was, you know, coming into our lane. But I can tell you, based on what I see here, the driver, our driver did an excellent job of being able to use all these methods in order for him not to get hit. Because again, when you think about this other driver who cut us off, no methods. No, I mean, he sped up, came into our lane without regard for the way we were or where we were in the lane. And, you know, a lot of times we say, you know, we need to be more courteous, or maybe these guys need to know that, you know, hey, this is my lane. I'm entitled to this lane. We need to get rid of that whole attitude, because the most important thing for us is to, you know, if these guys are going to make these ridiculous moves and cut us off and get into our lanes, I mean, all that, hey, this guy shouldn't have done this, or hey, this guy should have done that, needs to be put out the window. We need to do what we do in order to be safe. So in this case, I think the driver, and I'm sure our driver was very angry at this guy came into our lane, but he used his intelligence, he used his methods, he used his calm demeanor, and he backed off and he let this guy cut us off. Is it going to anger us? Yeah, sure. But on the grand scheme of things, you know, we're not in an accident. We didn't hit anybody. We didn't cause damage to anybody. And this guy, even though he didn't use what we think is the most important thing, protecting life, we made the right decision. And I think that is the most important thing. And that's what we talk about, slowing the chaos down, so that we don't put ourselves in a situation where we're in an accident. And just like Rick says, we're going to make mistakes. This guy, I promise you, he made a big mistake. I mean, the U.S. mail, I have no idea. I guess this guy had to get somewhere. But he obviously didn't pay attention to the way the roads were, the signs, I'm sure, that told him that we're going to merge together. But super important. And I'm super happy that our driver did the right thing, which was back off, let this guy come into our lane, and just let him, you know, get away.
And I'll speak to that. And just so you know, that most of the time, those contractors that run those mail runs, they run the same route every day. And I can tell you, it wasn't like this was a surprise to him how this lane was going to come out and how this was. Those guys run those lanes every single day, the same run, and they run that load and they take it. And so you got to be aware, but on the other side of that, you got to be aware. And just like this guy, and just like our driver was aware of what's happening, what's going down, and making the right decisions. You know what? Surrender the lane. You know what? Surrender the lane. Do what you have to make sure it's safe. It's safe every time. And that's what we're talking about here.
So the last video I'm going to review using the Smith system again. And again, listen, this is just an idea of how I would do things. And I know that you guys have been driving for a long time, and, everybody, these are just refresher things that we need to, continue to use to make ourselves more knowledgeable of what's going on. Because honestly, when we talked about this, the world is changing. It's changing because there's more cars on the highways. There's more people that, there's so many more distractions, so many more things out there in the world that people are just not paying attention to. Now you got GPS in the car and people are looking at their phones as they're driving down the highway. There's so many things that, that are just happening. And from our standpoint, again, we've got to be able to slow down, let that chaos happen in front of us, because everything, if you ever notice, all the accidents that ever happen are not behind us, they're in front of us. Whether we hit a deer, whether we, some guy pulls in front of us, whether some guy, those are the things that are happening in front of us. And again, I can't stress enough how important it is that we slow down, we back off, we make the right decisions. So here I'm going to use a perfect example right here. This is the last video I'll talk about, and I know we want to get off and get you guys on the road. Certainly the driver, again, aim high and steering. He's got a very good vision of what he's got in front of him. He's got his car in the center lane, got a safe path well ahead. So he continues to move forward. And again, here we go. As the driver continues to get the big picture to the left, again, he's got a turn lane, an opportunity for him to make that escape route if he needs to, got one to the right if he needs to. But again, you can see to your right, he's got cars coming on at a stop sign or a stoplight taking right or stopped at the stop sign. So already the driver should be knowing that he's coming into an intersection. So he should, again, continue to reduce speed, stay back and see it all. And again, I'm sure that he's not scanning and staring, because right off the bat, he sees this car right in front of him, or this truck that just came out from the turn lane. And it's, he's starting to back off a little bit, slow down a little bit. And then he notices this guy decides, no signal, no anything, keeping his eyes moving, watching this guy, making sure that he's got his outs to his right and to his left if he needed to, but he's also got a little bit of space in front of him. You can see that he is prepared for the unexpected. In this case, the unexpected is, the unexpected is this guy decides, hey, I'm going to stop right here and take a left. Boom. So again, our driver did an excellent job of seeing it all, staying back. He prepared for the unexpected, which is this guy being able to do that. And of course, we slowed down. Again, the guy had plenty of outs, whether we could move to the right or slow down. And of course, we couldn't move to the left because the vehicle's out there. But again, an opportunity for us, if we needed to use a horn or whatever we needed to in order to let that driver know that we were right behind him. So again, excellent job by our drivers. I mean, these are very, just like Dave Krause said this morning. I mean, these are the kind of things that you guys are going up against, whether it's those supercars going fast, or whether those, whatever it is it's in front of you. It's super. I mean, it's getting crazy out there, and you guys know. So it's and I've said this 3 or 4 times. We got to slow down. We got to slow down. I think that was Zayed. Zayed Anderson, did you have a comment?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, part of this system is the teamwork, because I picked up a trailer from train 57103, and the trailer is not in shape to be driven. It'll get through, but if DOT pull you over, they're gonna say it's not secure load, because you don't have a one door latch where you should have 2 door latches on one door, and the door is pretty rotten. It got patches in the ceiling and on the inside of it. Some of it is hanging down. They loaded anyway, and I was over there at Dart, because I had to take the trailer to Dart. I told them that the trailer was ancient. So they took the trailer over there at Dart and Waxahachie. So I think y'all need to take that trailer off, because if you get pulled over and go through a scale of DOT, see that trailer looking like that, they going to pull you over. It don't matter if you're speeding or not, because, I mean, Stephen Transport drive their truck slow, and they used to get pulled over in there all the time, because they had if it got 4 knobs, all 4 knobs got to be working. You got 2 latches off, the latches got to be hooked to the trailer, or else that's an unsecure load. And that's a big fine right there.
So I'll speak to that. And I'll make sure that I follow up on that trailer 57103. Did you send out a code 39 on that trailer, Mr. Anderson? Well, I'll follow up, and I'll just let you know that I'll follow up on that trailer to make sure that we take a look at that trailer, because if it's not a secure door, we're gonna fix it. I mean, we're gonna fix it.
And that also, I mean, you're exactly 100% correct. I mean, this is it is a team effort, because I'll use it for an example, football for an example. Your offensive line blocks for your quarterback and your running backs. Your wide receivers block; they catch passes. Everybody's got a job to do, and from our standpoint, we need to protect each other. Whether we're checking our trailers to make sure they're 100% good to go, our trucks so they're 100% good to go. I mean, this is a complete team effort because we want to help each other. We don't want to slow each other down. And by us not doing the right things and not doing those pre-trips and stuff, and it really does slow the next driver down. So, I get it. We all have a goal to get as many miles as we possibly can to try to move to the next load or whatever. But we've got to be doing the right things, because I promise you, if you don't do the right thing, at some point in time, you will be slowed up, or you will have to stop to do something that will cost you time. So just, let's be smart about what we do for each other, and let's go ahead and just get those pre-trips out of the way, get those things done that we need to get done in order for us to move forward and be successful. So with that being said, is anybody else? I think I saw somebody green. Who is this? Justin Hayes, do you have a comment or question?
Yes, sir. So I know in our orientation, I mean, the driving portion is really quick, which, I mean, I guess I'm okay with that. But so when Jeanette first started driving, we had to find a company to go to work for, and we went to USA Truck. Well, during their orientation, they took everybody in orientation, and they all got in one vehicle, and they went driving around town and had to prove the Smith system. You'd be driving and say there's a person walking down the sidewalk, they could jump out. There's a car coming up in this intersection. There's a stale green light. Like, you had to call it out loud so everybody could hear it while they're actually driving the vehicle, to show proof that, they understood the Smith system. I mean, maybe we could implement something like that, just to know that driver understands what it is. Also, you could certify people in the Smith system. Every once in a while, you get like a break on your car insurance. Some of them do. Allstate don't, but some people give discounts on car insurance and stuff like that. But I mean, you could try to implement that in orientation, or while they're doing the driving test in the big truck, and it's just them and Ben. They could say, "Hey, this is happening. This is happening. Here's what I see way up yonder."
Yeah, and that is a good point. I mean, I know when I was with UPS and I was driving for them, they would do that. They would definitely take us out on road tests and what have you, and go over that skill. So that's something we might need to discuss and get that implemented. I have tried to contact the Smith System folks to try to get me some more information on that, but I haven't heard back from them. I'll follow up with them, see if I can get something going. Maybe we can get some kind of training in class where we can talk about that, and maybe when we do a road test, maybe that's something we could talk as we go through the road test.
I don't know that we actually do the Smith system in class. I don't think we go over it, and I don't think we review the Smith system in class. I do know that we do the value driven program in class. We go over different aspects. We go over the different parts of the safety, Justin. But I don't know that we actually implement the Smith system directly in class, or do we review it in class? I'm not aware of.
No, I know we're not, and maybe that's something that we need to discuss and maybe try to add that into orientation.
I know that we take some of the ideas from the Smith system, and then I know that you go over it, you review it, but I don't know that we typically. I don't think we've actually had anybody out here trained in the Smith system physically on site, right? And that's what you were looking to do,
right?
Yeah. So, and I
well, even if you don't train them in it, you can just you know what I mean? Entering it into the class could, like I said, be Ben, who's doing the road test. Just implement it into the road test. Hey, man, I'm going to need you while you're driving. Here's where we're going. I'll tell you where to turn, but I just need you to tell me what you see and what hazards you see. And
Yeah, I think he's already started, since we've been on and Justin, I'll speak to that. And since we've been on the air, he's already going through and showing how we expect to do pre-trips, no longer just allowing them to do it, but what we expect and how we want pre-trips done. And also, he's making sure that every time they back up twice, and every time they DJ gets out with the driver, and they walk back to the back together, and they're setting up a whole new deal, and we can definitely add that, because that's nothing to that but genuine communication between the tester and the testee. And I think that's something we can implement as soon as Thursday, Justin.
Lonnie Payne, you were green. Hold on a second there. Who is this? Michael Campbell. Hold on 1 second. Lonnie Payne, I think you were green a second. Do you have a comment?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say, I know Hector is really good on that system and good about sharing it with us, but I think one of the reasons that it's not taught in our orientation and stuff is that is a proprietary system that we can't utilize or train on their stuff unless we're enrolled in their program and we pay them for the rights to teach that. That's one thing that I think some of the drivers may not be aware of. The other thing, Hector, on the videos that you were showing, especially the one on the truck coming into us from the right, I think sometimes it's important for us as drivers, to realize that if you look in that right-hand mirror, I mean, our guy did a fantastic job yielding and letting that guy have the room to get in there. But if you look in his mirror, you can see that not only does our guy know that lane is ending, but you can see that guy coming in that right-hand mirror for a while. So it was obvious that, anticipating the worst case scenario, what's fixing to happen to you there. So, again, sometimes, especially with the newer drivers, they don't react until something gets in front of them and the popo alarm is going off and, things are happening. You don't have to wait for it to get in front of you or all over the side of you before you start reacting to it. That's just something I wanted to throw out there. Y'all have a safe and blessed day.
Hey, thanks, Lonnie. And I think DJ was on there. Was that you, Darren?
I didn't see DJ. I saw Mike Campbell come green.
Oh, okay.
Mike Campbell, go ahead if you have a comment, sir.
JJ Keller supplies all the training supplies, videos, and stuff for the Smith system.
JJ Keller does? I appreciate that. We were looking to get some more of the stickers and stuff so we could put in the trucks,
materials,
gold stuff, and so for sure.
JJ Keller supplies pretty much almost anything to do with the trucking industry as far as safety training and stuff.
I appreciate the knowledge on there. Thank you so much. Okay, with that being said, does anybody else have anything? Just good comments everywhere. I mean, these are good suggestions that we certainly would love to try to get those, implemented and what have you. So we certainly are. I did, like I said, we're trying to do some different things to try to make ourselves more successful in what we need to do to be safe, for sure. Mr. Dover?
All righty, guys. And what I'm going to do is that great show, great comment. Hector is always doing a great job bringing in and going over some videos, re-looking at it a different way and viewing what it is we do every day out there on the road. I am going to go ahead today and close with a quick prayer, if everybody's okay with that. Dear Heavenly Father, we humbly gather before you today to offer up praises to you and also to ask much from you. We ask for your grace. We ask for your love. We ask for your kindness, and we ask for your protection. Father, we ask these things so that we can go out and do what we need to do today in your name, so that we can go out and do your will and find ways to make better for each other. We can find ways to help each other and to do more for each other. Father, we ask that you protect our drivers out there on the road and keep them safe. Help them make great decisions and help them be mindful of everyone around them and everything that they do. Father, we also ask that you give us the courage to help them in those endeavors. We ask that you find a way to help us get involved, help us to find answers and find solutions. Father, we ask that you also give us the strength and the courage to listen, and the ability to understand what's needed, and the idea that we can go forth and we can accomplish anything through your will. Father, we ask so much from you. We ask that you comfort those that are sick. We ask that you are with those, with our family that need you today. Father, we ask that you give them the strength and the courage today to help them find a way to be better and to be more normal. Father, we ask that you give all of these things to us in your name. Amen. All right, with that, I hope everybody is safe, kind, and considerate. Find a great way today to be a blessing upon somebody else by not only taking care of yourself, but by taking care of the person next to you each and every time. With that, God bless, Godspeed, and drop the mic.